Hey, how's it going? I've been working on some more item sorter designs, and today I'm going to share with you how to build up the simplest and most compact out of all of them. And also with this item sorter, you can put multiple stuff in each chest, so you could sort all kinds of different things, and it's infinitely expandable too, so you could add as much storage as you like. So if you just started up a new survival world or have been playing on one for years, this should be perfect. And welcome to the item sorter 1.1 world. So this is all the pieces of our first of the 5 designs, and specifically in this video I'm going to be showing you how to build up the really easy stuff. And so that's just the starter system, the end module, and then these middle modules, which you could add as many as you like just to get more storage. And in a future video I'll be showing you how to build up the rest of these modules so you know how to turn it or add a bulk storage spot or anything else like that. And then I'll also be doing videos on the rest of the designs, and so those designs are a little bit bigger, but one of them is completely quiet, one of them is ultra compact, one of them is even cheaper on resources, and one of them is a brand new vertical design. But let's get back to this design. What I'll show you next is a little bit of the redstone, then I'll show you the way you could actually sort stuff with it, and then we could get on to building it. And so here's a look at the redstone, and it looks a bit chunky, but that's just because we have the starter system and the end system right next to each other, because the way you would actually build it up would look a lot more like this, where it's a lot more of the really simple modules. And I'll explain more of the way the redstone works in the video where I show the other modules, but just a quick explanation of it is any items put in this chest start a clock, and that sends the items through this hopper dropper line, and they try to get stacked on top of any other items in these chests. But if they're unable to, they just end up at the very end of the system in our overflow chest. And here's how to actually use it. So you pretty much just fill these chests with whatever items you want to be sorted. So you just want to make sure this entire chest is filled with at least a single item in each slot. And then when you put those items into the starter chest, it automatically takes them out and tries to stack them on top of these items here. And if we put an item that can't stack with these, what it will do is it will try to put it into this chest, and if it can't stack with any of those either, then it ends up at our very end chest. And so that's basically it. You can come up to this chest and throw your whole inventory in here if you wanted to, and it will try to sort every one of those items. And the final few things to mention before we get to building is I can only confirm this works in Java, although I'm about 99% sure it works on bedrock too. And then also this thing can't sort any non-stackable items, but that's pretty much just the same for any item sorter. So we're going to start off by looking at all the materials you need for all 3 modules. And so here's what you're going to need for the starting system, and those andesite blocks to be any block you like. We're just going to be using those for the building blocks, and same with the stairs, those could be any stairs you like, or you could use any other non-solid block. And then also those are droppers and not dispensers. And now here's how much you need for just one middle module or just one chest. So if you want to have 10 chests, just make sure to times this by 10. And then here's all you need for the end system. So let's begin by building up our front panel of the starting system. So for that we just want to go up 1, 2, 3, then we want to go over 2 blocks and go 1, 2, 3, and then in between them you want to place a solid block here, and then 2 solid blocks there, and then some chests go on top of all these, and for this one the chest points out the back, just like that. And then on top of these chests go our 3 stairs. And now we could place in our hoppers and droppers, which are going to look like this. So let's start off by placing any block we want right here just as a temporary block, so that way we could place this hopper off of it, and then we could remove this block. So you want to make sure that the hopper is pointing in this direction, and then you place the next hopper on top of it pointing into the chest. And then next to this bottom hopper and next to this chest, you want to place a dropper pointing upwards, and then another dropper on top of it pointing into this hopper. And then pointing into this bottom dropper is another dropper, so its face is going in this direction, just like this one up here. And then underneath this chest is a hopper that points into the dropper. And now to start building up the blocks our redstone is going to go on, we're going to place one next to this bottom dropper, and one next to the top hopper, and 2 pointing out here. And then the rest of the blocks go in like this. So 1 there, then 3 in this little arrow, and 1 on top of this one. And now we can work on our redstone. So go down here to this first little dropper, and you want to have a comparator running out of it pointing into this block. And so right now that comparator powers that block, and then we're going to make that block power this repeater, which we're going to click on 3 additional times to get it to its full delay. And then we're just going to put some redstone here, so that way this repeater powers the redstone, and then that redstone powers this repeater, which finishes the loop. So now it goes in a loop like this, And then also with this repeater, click on it 2 additional times so you get it to this much delay. And now we need that clock to do something, so we're going to have it power this note block. And then this observer is going to detect whenever that note block activates, so the face of this observer is pointing into the note block, and the redstone dot is pointing into this block. And then that observer powers these 2 redstone dust. Those redstone dust power this repeater down here with 1 additional delay on it like that, and then that repeater powers this torch. And to finish all that redstone up, you place some dust right here, and that dust powers a repeater which is pointing into this bottom dropper, so you want to make sure it's pointing in that direction. And then up here we have another repeater pointing in this direction. And just like that, we're all done with by far the hardest module to build. And the next system is really easy to make. You just start off by expanding 2 more blocks, then you add another chest on top, then you add these 2 stairs on top of that, and then in the back you place a dropper facing upwards, a dropper pointing in this direction, then a temporary block to place your hopper off of so it points in the same direction as the top hopper, and then you just place another hopper pointing into this chest. And to finish it up, just place a block on the top dropper and on the bottom hopper, and then a redstone dust down here and a repeater up on top. And we'll add in just 1 more of those just to show how it expands, but it's pretty much just the same as the last one. And you could also always expand on it later on, since all you need to do is break down the little end module and then you could add some more. And then to build up our end module is pretty easy. You just build up 1, 2, 3, then you want to go over 3 blocks and go up 1, 2, 3. Then in between those you place 2 stairs at the bottom and 2 stairs at the top. And then on the side further away from the chest you place in a light like that. And then on this side you place in a chest sideways so you could go back here and expand it to a large chest. And now for your droppers, come in between here and place one so it faces upwards, and then this one will face into the chest. And then to power these droppers, you place a block on top and a redstone dot down here. And now we just need to connect up our chest to the light. And so to do that, we just go behind the chest and place on a block for our comparator to go on top of, and that comparator points into another block to power this redstone, then that redstone powers the repeater, which points into a block powering our redstone lamp, and then I'm pretty sure there's another block down here, but you don't really need that one. So now if everything's right, we should be able to place the block into here, and the light should light up. And now that it's all finished up, you just come up here and set up the items you want to sort, so we could have this one be our charcoal and flint chest, and then this one here could be our 2 different dye chests, and then this one could be our TNT and redstone lamps. So there's that all done, and now if we put those items into here, they'll begin to get sorted, and we'll also just place in some random items so it could go into our output chest. And after a couple of minutes, all those items have been sorted, and the ones that were unable to all made it to the very end. So that is it for this video. If you did enjoy it or if it was helpful, a like would be much appreciated. If you want to see those future designs, make sure to get subscribed. And if you want to see some other redstone builds, like how to build a little item display shop, I'll have those videos linked at the end. And also another video people have been saying they like a lot is our Dream Practice World. It's a world download where you could go and do water MLGs and parkour and all kinds of things like that. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye. So once it's all first of all, once you build it, you set it up. So after building it, you set it up to, and then to power these droppers, and then to power these droppers,